Welcome for our introduction. First, we have our trivia for today. So our trivia for today is, do you know that babies have around 100 more bones than adults? Babies have about 300 bones at birth, with cartilage between many of them. This extra flexibility helps them pass through the birth canal and also allows for rapid growth. With age, many of the bones fuse, leaving 206 bones that make up an average adult skeleton. So all of us have 206 bones if we are adults, and the babies have about 100 more bones. Now our agenda for today. Our agenda for today is, you will understand the rules of subject-verb agreement. You will be able to follow the rules on subject-verb agreement. You will have no problem in constructing sentences. You will be able to improve your grammar. Now for our topic, subject-verb agreement. Rule number 1. Single subject takes singular verb and plural subject takes plural verb. This is the most commonly used rule on subject-verb agreement and will serve your purpose on most occasions. For example, Rama blinks every few seconds. So the subject is Rama and Rama blinks every few seconds. And another example is Rama and her friend blink every few seconds. So the subject is Rama and her friend, and we have a singular verb which is blink. Another example is the siblings eat frequently. That's why they are obese. So there, the subject there is siblings, and the siblings, and the verb is eat. So the siblings eat frequently, and the other is that's why they are obese. So the subject is they and are obese. So the siblings are obese. Now for exception 1. Singular subjects I and you take plural verbs. For example, I blink every few seconds. So I blink. Another example is you eat frequently. That's why you are obese. So the subject is you and the verb is eat. For exception number 2, the rule doesn't apply to simple past tense without helping verbs. Example, the student made merry in absence of the teacher. So the subject is the student. Student made merry. The subject, teacher. Exception number 3. This rule doesn't apply to following helping verbs when they are used with a main verb. For example, will and would. And another example is shall or should, can, could, may, might, and must. Not that simple future tense is covered by will and shall. For example, you must go to the college today. We must go to the college today. Now we have rule number 2. Words that come between subject and verb do not affect the number, singular or plural, of the verb. So ignore intermediary words for the purpose of matching a subject with its verb. Well, this isn't really an independent rule, but it helps in applying the first rule better. For example, the price of tomatoes has gone through the roof in the last 2 weeks. So we have the price and has. And another example is a consortium of banks has lent 200 million US dollars to ABC Limited. So we have consortium and has. Now for rule number 3. A linking verb takes the form of its subject. For the uninitiated, a linking verb, unlike the action verb, doesn't show any action. It serves the limited purpose of connecting one idea to another. For example, in a sentence, the cat is hungry. is the linking verb. It's not showing any action. For example, the problem with this situation is that there are many directions one can proceed in. Comment here. The linking verb is takes the form of its subject problem and not that of many directions. Another example is what I demand is honesty, a hard work in your job. Here is the book you're looking for. So there is and book. Rule number 4. A compound subject comprising of two or more nouns joined by and requires a plural verb. For example, a lion and a tiger don't cross paths in the wild because their habitats don't overlap. So we have the compound subject is lion and a tiger. We use the word and. And another example is the car and the bike both were vandalized. So the car and the bike. So it said there that the car and the bike were vandalized. Ramesh and Abhishek were absent in a class yesterday. So Ramesh and Abhishek were absent in a class yesterday. So the compound subject there is Ramesh and Abhishek. For exception number 1, compound subjects qualified by each or every take singular verbs. For example, every spoon, plate, and glass was on the floor. A likely act of the cat. So there you will see the qualified compound subjects. Compound subject is every. And another example is every man and woman in the lobby is requested to proceed to the conference room. So there you'll see the word every man. And the verb is singular verb. For exception number 2, certain subjects separated by and are so inseparable that they're considered singular and hence they take singular verbs. For example, give and take is common in negotiation. So we have the word give and take. And the singular verb is. And another example is rarely has bread and butter not been served in the breakfast at our hostel. So we have bread and butter. So the verb there is has.